Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Spitfire. Of course, we are back after the holiday break. My name is Brice. Of course, joining me here will be Tunn, who'll be doing stuff in and around the stream production and chipping in when he feels like it. But more importantly, although not really this time, we are joined again by Momo. And yes, that was a fast intro. Let's get straight into this one. Topic for this week, obviously, the group pool draw for the Pro League qualifier has been done. Let's start right there and jump straight into that one. Phil with 7. You're involved in the draw.
Yes, I was.
In the draw, weren't you, Phil? What do you think? Anything big come out of
that one? For me, it was obviously Pool A. A lot of talks around Pool A. When we did it as well, it was interesting matchups. Phase v phase. You get a bit of EU battle, a bit of Spanish battle. Like, they're all going kind of head to head, and I think that's kind of fun as well. But I think on the kind of the bigger picture, I was just like realizing how much competition there is there and how much competition isn't going to make it. That was kind of I was thinking, like, there's so many good people here, and yeah, it's the Pro League qualifier, and some are classed as AMs, some are classed as pros, but some pros aren't going to make it, some AMs probably are, and it's going to be weird. It's going to be wild.
It's the best thing. It's the best. Welcome to the biggest retirement in Call of Duty history. Yeah, I'm telling you,
this
is going to be the biggest retirement in Call of Duty history. I'm going to say 4 pros.
Yeah,
recognized pros are going to retire this year at least.
Who like? I mean, out of the top teams, I've just pasted the groups in the chat there. Out of the top teams, though, who you would count as like top teams from last year, who do you think's not going to make it or potentially couldn't? Because I'm worried for 100 Thieves a little bit, and I'm worried for FaZe Clan a little bit.
See, I'm not even worried about like particular teams. It's just when you look at, like, say, Group A, you go, oh, who's going to make it? You know, Team Sween, Rec, FaZe. And then you go, and you kind of think, who's going to finish bottom 2? And you look at maybe Divine or whatever. Like, something will just happen. Like, one team will lose to another. There's just too many good teams.
Let's just jump straight into
go out.
Group A then. Let's just jump straight into Group A. Let's just jump straight in and talk about it. So the big things in this group for me are the fact that Team Sween and Reciprocity are going against each other, and FaZe Clan. Now, if you'd taken this before Vegas, Team Sween would, people would be saying they're not even going to make it out of this. FaZe Clan, they were top 16. Reciprocity were disappointed. There's this big thing about a move to Vegas doing better. Like, I think, to me, like, it's all very close underneath Team Sween. If Team Sween played like they did at Vegas, they're a shoo-in.
100%.
But I don't think they have the advantage of people underestimating them again. I don't think they have the advantage of people not knowing exactly what they do again.
Yeah, I mean, that's not going to happen this time around, is it? So, I mean, everyone knows how they play. They play very, very quickly. So, I mean, looking at that roster lineup, I know that, I mean, I'm pretty sure they played against FC Black at some point through Open. They dealt with them. There's no team in there that they obviously didn't outplace because they come in from the top pot.
Well, of course not. Yeah.
So I think, they just go in and play their game again. I think they should be fine. It's just I query the rest of the teams below them. I just do not know who's actually going to sit in there. I feel like Team Sween should be able to beat the majority of those teams.
Yeah.
But I mean, there is teams that could potentially slip up against. But the way that they
Team
play
Sween
in
top
Vegas,
2.
Yeah,
I was going to say. I was going to say who we go in top 2.
I mean, the way that they played, I cannot not put them top because they were so good.
So, I mean, without being biased, I'm guessing one of the other 2 teams is Rec or FaZe. Or is the other 4, any of the other 4, can you think?
It's got to be Rec or FaZe, right?
Well,
yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, but I think Enigma 6 had a really poor Vegas, and if they play up to what we think they should be able to, then they could possibly challenge that. Mesa aren't a bad team. FC Black aren't a bad team. Team Divine aren't awful. I mean, that's the thing. There's not necessarily a couple of teams I look at there and think you'll definitely finish bottom 2.
Yeah,
I mean, it shouldn't be so because this is technically top 32 teams. This is just top 32. The difference being is that you can't tell where the elite teams are in these groups. Team Sween's the only one that really stands out. The rest all kind of mix it up.
Because there's no, like, that's the thing, because you've not got your Optic or your Reunited where you go, okay, they're gonna make it through.
Yeah,
like that's what I'm kind of looking forward to the most. But I think FaZe make it through, like top 2 as well.
Right, they should. But I've spoke about it a couple of times this week of like Celium is like, well, it's such a huge amount of pressure on somebody who, I think I was quoted correctly, that has never been to a LAN event, to come in and like, all right, here's your first LAN event. True. This is for your potential to get into Pro League. This is for FaZe Clan. If you do not play well this weekend, FaZe are not in the Pro League.
It's such like, a big.
Here you go. Here's your first event.
That's from my point of view. I'm not saying Rec don't make it, but I just think the top two will be those three, however it works out.
I think FaZe and Rec are the biggest possible fails, just in the fact that there's so much history behind them, and it was so disappointing at Vegas, both their results. Like, FaZe made top 16. Like, this is get this right. This is a top 16 league, so FaZe would have squeaked in if it was all based on Vegas. So like, I don't think they won't make it. I don't think either of them will make it.
Yeah, I think in the grand scheme of things they'll get through. But if I was to say who I think personally will make it out of this, I'm gonna go Team Sween top. I'm gonna probably be slightly biased and say Reciprocity second, because I just FaZe looked so poor, and I don't know how the change that they made was an improvement. I don't know if that actually happened. Whereas Reciprocity have had something to work on. You know, I don't know. I just think Team Sween Reciprocity.
I've not seen Rec or FaZe since New Year's. Like, I've not kind of seen them personally myself play, so I don't really know, like, has Celium made a huge impact or Rec looking better? Like, I personally don't know that. I do think Team Sween go through. The way that they're playing right now, I'm really confident that they go through.
Hey, I'm confused. Also, why have you gone? Have you changed your lighting or something? Just
it's
a second ago, it's just gone really dark, and you weren't a second ago.
He's probably just gone dark in Columbus.
So not pop.
Tell you what.
The apocalypse just happened in Columbus.
Yeah, it's actually starting in Columbus.
Hey, it's snowing here.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, that's off topic. All right. Anyway, back on topic. I still like we're saying Sween is a lock, and you have to say Sween is a lock after Vegas because coming top 6 is a big achievement.
Yeah.
This will be the real test if they can do it twice in a row.
Yeah.
Have teams improved? Have they caught up?
Yeah.
Have they looked at what Team Sween do?
Have Team Sween got the consistency
kind of the real
as well? That's the thing. Like, there's so many questions around them because they came in as such a big surprise that if they do it again, is it a surprise or is it just this is how good they are? Like that's the question, I suppose. But we'll see.
100%.
I've got faith in them.
Just so you know as well, like I casted the 2K with Merc on Monday. FaZe Clan Black won again, and they won the previous one. Obviously, we know what Team Sween have been doing. FaZe Clan Black are not a team to be like written off. It's it's a team for me that I see potentially making the Pro League. I don't know how they do it, and obviously with brackets and everything. I don't see these guys finishing bottom 2 in this and being like eliminated.
No. The only thing that puts me off FC Black was that we watched them on the open bracket stream, and Heretics went up against them, and Heretics smoked them. Like something rotten, like really bodied them.
Yeah, but I mean, like Heretics is good.
Yeah, I know, but this is like that is where the level is, and it's like, well, how far are you going to go based on those performances? Because I don't know. I just think that it seemed as if they struggle against fast-paced teams. Yeah. You look at Sween, fast-paced, Reciprocity. You'd argue slower-paced, but there's a lot of quick teams in here, and I think they could.
It's on the day as well. Like...
Yeah, it is. That's the thing. Like, we can sit here and predict all these groups, which I'm sure we're going to do anyway. But it's very, very hard to predict.
Let's talk about who we don't think's making it. Who is like not making it out of this group?
I don't want to write Mesa off because they made a little run, and
Mesa will be is like a come out of nowhere team, but they did make a good run, like a really good run.
Mm-hmm. They were in the semifinals of the 2K this time. They got by Project 7, who then went on to lose to FaZe Clan Black. I
think Team Divine might struggle
a little bit lower. I think again, how good are Enigma 6? I look at Mesa, Divine, and Enigma 6, and
I thought Enigma 6 were average at best.
Yeah.
Like I just didn't see a great amount from them, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we didn't see anything from them basically. They scraped in. It was like top 32 they finished, something like that. So
yeah. I don't know. Basically, like I go Mesa Gaming down, FC Black have probably got a better chance there, but Divine, Enigma 6, and Mesa are the ones you kind of put in that bracket. But Team Divine are a good team. Like, if you think about who's on Team Divine, what you got: Kreza, Delio, Nile, and Bids. Like, Nile's a very good player. I know that much. Delio's good. It's just, have they got enough in this to take down the other teams? I don't think they're taking Reciprocity, Sween, or FaZe.
No.
They have to win their other games against the teams they're playing, and they just have to really bring something that somebody else hasn't seen before. It's a hell of a group to be in for them.
Yeah.
It's tough.
And
that's why
Bidz isn't on that team anymore. Keza replaced him.
Yeah, I'm just looking at I'm getting the teams up here now, just in case that has many changes, because these will be the roster lock, of course. So let's see. Team Divine. Oh my god, I can't find them.
I've got the player info. I got an email this morning.
Team Divine. Why can't I see them?
Team Divine: Keza, Nile, Kreza, Delio, Bids.
Yeah, I'm blind. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, look.
Apparently, Bids has been replaced. Apparently, Bids is not in.
Well, that's what it is.
If that's changed, like that was the email I got this morning. So if they've changed it,
there's even a thing on the timeline. They just haven't updated it. It says Bids left on December the 11th.
Oh yeah,
well, it says December 19th. It says December 19th. The whole team left, so I don't really know what's going on with the Wikipedia.
So it looks like Enduro. Yeah, it makes sense that Enduro's in there. Okay, I mean that gives them a little bit more experience, of course, but at the same time, it's difficult. Keza's a decent enough player. Niall's been there, done it. Kreza's decent enough. Delio's decent enough, but are they good enough to make the Pro League? I don't think so. I like those boys, but
Maze's Teddy Rex in there, isn't it?
Yes, Teddy Rex, Zap, Apox, Super, and Rambi. So it's a decent little team.
Oh, just different team.
Yeah, slightly different, but the rest of D's very, very strong. That's the thing with them. If they can nick a respawn, then they look pretty good. But I don't know. It's going to be difficult. You can't sort of just rely on that, of course. But at the same time, we'll see how they do. I just think they should be able to make the bracket, but I think Team Divine potentially could be in trouble on that one.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it's a difficult group. It's a difficult group because you after Sween, like nobody has stood out massively apart from you'd say Reciprocity and FaZe, simply because those are two well-known pro teams. That's it. That's all you have to go on. They didn't stand out at Vegas, top 12 and top 16 respectively, which is still technically good enough for the Pro League at this point. So that top three, you would say, one of those is between Reciprocity and FaZe, should come top two, and then who knows where the rest of this is going to lay.
Yeah, and one thing I just want to put down, like a lot of people have been saying online that this is such a huge opportunity for a lot of people, but it's so fair the way that they're doing it. There's so many games, there can literally be no excuses, none, because you got so many chances. You got a chance to finish if you finish top of the group. You got a chance if you then obviously get through into the bracket and then do it from there. So, I mean, look, none of these guys have got any excuses to make if they don't make it. If they don't make it, you're just not good enough, I think.
Here's a question from the chat. I don't know how to say this name. I'm going to class it DB Quinn98. Do you class Sween as a pro team? I think that the thing about Team Sween is that they were undervalued at champs and still made a good run. Did lose, I think, Petey and Moose, and still did it even better at Vegas.
Yep.
So, I mean, technically the definition of a pro team is getting paid to play, and they don't have an org right now because I imagine there's been a lot of offers coming.
Oh, yeah.
And they're probably thinking, well, we feel confident enough to make the Pro League, give us that money.
Yeah.
But if they auto-qualify in this group, if they come top of their group, somebody's paying a lot for this team.
Mm-hmm. And I think they're doing the right thing. A lot of people are wondering why they haven't already got an org pulled out because they feel very confident in their ability. I suppose it's like, think of the long term. Think of not now, like getting paid a wage right this second. Think about what's going to happen afterwards if you do qualify, which I think they will. Even if they don't finish top two, I still think they will. I think they're just too fast paced for a lot of these teams, and if they don't finish top two, I think they'll finish third, and that's another important point to make. If you finish third, you go into the you get a bye in the first game. So that
into the bracket play.
Yeah, so that means you have to win one game or something like that, or two games. I've seen the brackets.
So win a bracket if you go. Let's say you get second in Pool A. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Second in Pool A, you would go.
Third in Pool A, you need to win 2 games and you qualify.
Oh, sorry, third. Yeah. So if you're third in the pools, you get a bye. And fourth, fifth play, you play the winner. So you're probably gonna play whoever finished fourth.
Mm-hmm.
Winner of match 9, 10.
Could be anybody, really, I suppose. Isn't it? Yeah.
So if you finish third, you're gonna play a fourth, fifth seed. Then you're gonna play a third, fourth, fifth seed.
Yeah.
And if you win both of those, you're in.
Yeah. And then obviously you get locked in losers.
Yeah.
Right. Well, let's move on then. Let's move on to Group B. Now, Group B, I think is absolutely chock full of talent. I think it's ridiculous how many big names are in this.
We were talking about this yesterday, that we actually and we both agreed with each other, Brice, that we think B is actually the harder group. I think
there's teams in there that just could surprise people.
Yeah, I think that's it more. Like, I look at A and I sort of have got my mind made up on at least the top 3. Yeah. Whereas B, I look at it and I'm like,
underneath the Lightning Pandas, MV and G2 they look good.
Yeah.
But not as outstanding as you would like them to.
G2 look a lot better now, though.
G2 do look better. They played well in the Pro Down, which I'm sure we'll talk about. But Heretics were really good at Vegas. You look at Fact Revolution, who they've got on their team. They can cause problems. Tainted Minds, I think, might struggle, but Giants might struggle also. But those top 6 teams outside of Tainted Minds, I think. Well, Tainted Minds have still got a shot, of course, but I think Giants are out of the question.
I don't know.
I think Giants are out of the question.
I didn't particularly rate Tainted Minds at Vegas because we saw them.
Yeah.
I didn't think they were very good.
They were.
I don't know. I've not seen Fight Revolution play. I don't know if you've seen like EU2Ks. How are they playing? Maple Chain.
Did we watch them? Did we watch them on the Open?
I've not seen guys at all.
But I mean, they've been doing all right in 2Ks and stuff like that. But Team Sween and that have been obviously beating them occasionally, but they always get semis, finals, that sort of sound. So just to let you know, Fact Revolution is Maple Chain, Cammy, Sunnybeat, and Defrag. It's a solid team.
That is a solid team. That's interesting. That is a very solid team.
Tainted Minds and Giants could struggle, but the thing is, it's a solid team in Europe, but globally, are they going to be able to go and beat?
I don't know. It's a lot of pressure as well. It's so much pressure for a team like that.
I think those top 4 in B will kind of run over those bottom 3.
Yeah.
Hasn't Sunny's team been scrimming Lightning Pandas though, and they've had to stop now?
They did. Oh, really? Yeah. We were speaking about
that was one of their main kind of scrims.
Yeah.
Was Lightning Pandas,
sense, right?
Yeah. But Fact Revolution are a team who the thing is, a lot of these teams would have played each other. Giants, Fact Revolution, Heretics, and Lightning Pandas would have played each other a lot.
Yeah.
So they're going to know each other's
I think
games.
I think Heretics and Fact Revolution may be the 2 main practice teams for Lightning Pandas.
Yeah. Heretics are a high practice team for good EU teams. So that I was speaking to Dylan. He says one of the only worries he had out of his group was Heretics because of how fast they play, and that's because Lightning Pandas play quickly and Heretics can match their pace, whereas he feels like the rest of the teams are a little bit slow. So I get that. But I still think Lightning Pandas will be fine. But people just need to adjust to Heretics' playstyle. If they can, then they can get some results against them. But if they do not keep up with Heretics, and Heretics play as well as they did in Vegas, Heretics are going to cause a lot of problems for some of these teams. Like, I don't think
Heretics make it.
So would I. I really would, because a lot of
I
people.
think Heretics make it. I think
they might.
Type of Heretics to make it.
I think they might. This is a good chance for them to do so. Don't get me wrong. I don't think they're going to finish top 2 in the group.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised, but at the same time, I think they easily finish top 4, maybe 3rd, and then that gives them a decent enough shot.
I'm going to put this out there. I don't think Giants make it at all.
No,
into even the top 5. I don't have Giants in my top 5.
No, I think they finish.
And then I'm making up my mind between Tainted and Fact Revolution. Yeah. And I basically want to go Fact Revolution just because of Sunny B. I don't know if Tainted. That's about it.
Tainted, bearing in mind, Tainted lost Swifty to Mindfreak as well.
Yeah, I didn't Mindfreak absolutely bury them at Vegas as well.
Yeah,
it wasn't even close.
Plays cast over it. It
was disgusting.
I think I agree with that. I think Fight Revolution beat Tainted and Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could do that being the 5. And then for me, it's like who comes second in that group. Lightning Pandas are shooing, and speaking to Madcat recently, he's super confident. Like, he's so confident.
I look at Group B now, and the first team that jumps out at me is G2.
G2 have looked a lot better online, but they've just made a change. It's like how the thing is, because yes, they've looked better online, but how much stock do you put into the pro down because of like the lack of practice for a lot of teams over the Christmas period as well?
So what are you saying top two then, Phil? Like, what are you saying top two?
I think G2 and Lightning Pandas top two. But it's just crazy to think Envy don't get top two in a group. I think G2 and Lightning Pandas. Yeah. But let's say, like, if Envy just beat one of them, or if Lightning Pandas or G2 like mess up to say Heretics or whatever, it all can change. But if I'm putting my prediction out there, I put first G2. Oh no, I just go G2 and Lightning Pandas top two.
Do you know what the issue for me is? Is it's because Lightning Pandas are European. And I'm so aware of watching European teams just go, yeah, they should make this, they should be great, and then just not happening. It's just
That's
not
the thing.
Not working.
It's like for Team Sween and Lightning Pandas, we had very little expectations for Vegas. Like if they finished
100%.
top 12, we would be like, oh, right, okay, yeah. But the fact that
is a very different animal.
Top 6, and it was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Now these lot can cause some problems, but I don't know. But somebody's made a point in the chat that Envy, you look at them on paper and they're a great team. Hook is a monster.
Well, this is why we said Group B is the harder group.
Yeah.
Lightning Pandas, Envy, and G2 are all fantastic at the moment. Heretics could cause an upset. The rest of the three are irrelevant. But, like, those four... Heretics aren't coming top two, but they could certainly cause an upset somewhere else.
Imagine if they do, though. You know, imagine if Heretics beat Lightning Pandas.
Or beat Envy, or... Yeah. Teams like that.
Say Heretics beat Envy and Lightning Pandas, lose to G2. Like... It's just wild, but I do think this is a more clear cut for top four.
Yeah, and one of the things.
Oh yeah, the top four's obvious, but you still put Heretics firmly fourth. Like 100% Heretics fourth. They could just technically beat one of the top three teams. They won't beat all three. They probably won't even beat two of them. They'll beat one maybe.
What worries me about G2 is that they're quite a slow team when you look at that roster and you think of it specifically. Then going up against Heretics, they're going to cause them problems. I think Envy can match it because you got Hook, who's just going to be flying at them and things like that. But I think G2 are a very, very good team who will cause problems to everybody in here. But I think Heretics could potentially have their number. But
is Apathy running a Sorg now? I swear I saw him running a Sorg.
I think they changed some things up, which they needed to do. But
I'm sure I saw him running a Sorg.
Why did Envy finish in the pro down? I seen that the other day. Hold on.
Heretics is a better team than Fact Revolution. Yeah, I agree with that. Heretics is very good right now. Yeah.
While Tunn's checking the pro down, if you were a random team, which pool, if you could choose, would you go into, A or B?
I'd go into A because I think you got a better chance of finishing higher, whereas B is
if you're a good team, like you'd go in A.
I think so.
See, everyone's saying A is like pool of death and all this, but I kind of agree with you.
I think they think that because A has, like we spoke about the A thing, is that those teams seem a lot closer, but I still think the skill cap is slightly lower. Like if you were to average it all out, like Group B would have higher spikes in their teams, but they would have lower teams in there to get top 5. So it'd be easier to get top 5 in B. Because you'd have teams you can kind of just kick out the way. But if you wanted to win the group, that's way harder getting a top 2 than it is in Group A.
Yeah,
100%.
I know. I 100% agree.
So what happened with Envious? Did they even play? Envious did. They lost to Evil. I mean, I said this is the pro down where a lot of teams didn't have a lot of practice. I don't know. I mean, if you're Envy, you should have been practicing as much as you can. But they lost 4-2 to EG, and then they went to the losers bracket. 1-3-2 against Ready for Hire, so I don't know who that is, but then lost to Splice.
Complex Matters confirmed that App's running a Sorg. Okay. And I couldn't when I saw it that he wasn't running it, it blew my mind. Because every time I've watched App absolutely go off, he's been in that fast spray, fast SMG role. Like when he goes, he lasers people, and that's when he's best. Oh, I remember what was it? IW. I think I watched him, and he was what he was doing with. I can't remember what the gun's called now. I wasn't in that long ago. But like he was,
I can't remember.
I literally got the old Men in Black thing and just flashed that game out of my mind. But he was so good.
Ready for Hire straight. Okay.
The ERAD, yeah, he was so good with it. I honestly thought if I didn't know he was a pro player, I thought he was cheating. He was so good.
I was like that. Like he was like the optic killer at one time. Like his SMG just would trump it. You know, him and whoever he was running with or whatever, whether it be John or. Whatever at the time, but
he's good at fast-paced gameplay. He's good at speed. He's good at speed, and that's where they want him. I think that's a better team with him running the Sorg, and we'll see how much that plays out.
I want to say that did Lightning Pandas not play against MBS? Sorry, at Vegas.
So I don't remember seeing it.
Hold on, that's all that. I'll delve in. You go on.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Complex Matt here. Sorry, big shout out for Complex Matt in the chat. App and Hugh as a sub duo. Just think of the pressure. That's mad. That's insane. I'm actually put down like that team's even gone now. That's confirmed because I heard he was running the Sorg now. They've actually gone up. That's why Group B is so hard. It's so hard.
You don't think it's weird though? Like when that squad was made, like that's just common sense. App and Hugh run SM. Like that's. I don't get why it wasn't done. I mean, I know obviously silly. I don't know.
You know what it is? It's probably one of those things like the players they want to do what they want to do. Like and I usually quote like Mad Cat with this. If you remember what Mad Cat's done in his career, is he's actually changed position about 8,000 times whatever team he's on. Because he's more confident in running a position where they're weak than he is running his strongest position. So he allows that other person to like go the slow AR or whatever. So he always ends up moving about. I think that probably the same thing happened with that. It was like Silly probably didn't like the Maddox or whatever, or he was more comfortable with the Sorg, so he ended up taking it because App didn't really mind. Like I feel like that's probably why. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I could be talking absolute rubbish. Anything could happen. They're gonna flip for it. You know, rock paper scissors.
Yeah, Lightning Pandas.
You know, maybe he doesn't like the Sorg apathy, but
Lightning Pandas.
You don't know until you're in there.
Lightning Pandas did play MV and beat them 3-1 losers bracket.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, Rec beat FaZe at Vegas. Reverse sweep at about 2 a.m. in the morning.
Oh yeah, that's why I never saw that game.
Rec beat Heretics, although they're not in the same group, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. G2 don't want to look at their results.
All right, let's move on then. Let's
we'll be here forever.
App didn't like the Sorg pre-Vegas. See, there you go. That's what I was saying. I didn't know exactly what happened, but right, it's going to talk. Apathy didn't like the Sorg pre-Vegas.
Okay.
He should have learned to like it.
I mean, why didn't he like it though? Because I mean, it's...
I know you laugh, but I genuinely think that's a genuine. I should have.
Yeah,
like you don't like Smithy, and like you've been a beast with SFP for so long, like, and he will be so good. We know it. Yeah. When you put certain weapons in certain people's hands, like it just fits them. But if he didn't like it, personal preference, fair play to him.
All right, let's move on then. Group C.
Sonny's been raided by a band, it looks like.
No, I just my door opened on its own. Nobody in the house.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, Tunn's gonna die. Hopefully the stream stays up.
You're about to watch me get
all right, Group C. Straight ripping, 100 Thieves, Pittsburgh Knights, Accelerate GG, Midnight, Overtime, and Out Cold Gaming.
I think 100 Thieves got blessed here, by the way. I think they really did. Because I actually was a tad worried about them. But I think that they could make it out of this group top 2 quite easily.
I think the whole 100 Thieves thing is so overblown, by the way.
No, I don't.
I do.
I'm kind of in the middle of both here. I think yeah, they were one of the favorites coming in. They were so massively overhyped coming into Vegas. Yeah.
That it wasn't a good result for them.
Yeah, I know, but
like now people are like, oh, they're trash, they're awful, they're the worst. Like honestly, it's almost as you'd think this was an amateur team or something. These are still good players.
That is what will get them through. But at the same time, they need some sort of confidence because they've just looked like shit. No, haven't they? Like, let's be honest. Like, you look at that team on paper and you're like, oh my god, insane team. But realistically, they have done very, very little. I want to talk about the Pro Down, but it's online. Beginning of the season after Christmas and whatnot. So how much do you put into it? But they got beat by Red 4-1, which is nothing to sniff at, of course. But then they got beat 3-1 by Big Pelicans. Who the fuck's that?
No idea.
No idea.
I couldn't even tell you.
No idea.
I couldn't even tell you.
So I worry. Imagine if, let's say, 100 Thieves were in MBS' spot. Then I'm worried for him.
Yeah.
I do kind of agree with Tunn in saying that they've got a good group, but I also agree that I think they're going to come in and I think this is their time that they go, okay, like, we're serious about this. I think they do well. I think they finish top 2. But if you're in any other group, if you're in Group A or B, I'd be a lot more worried for him.
Oh, you'd be terrible. If you're Nate shot, you'd be in absolute bits.
But I think they secure top 2 in this pool. That's where I put 100 Thieves. I don't see them.
Yeah,
not making it. If they go to bracket play, it's gonna be squeaky bum time for those guys.
Yeah, seriously. Like I mean, Pittsburgh Knights are a potential threat. they've looked okay, but they have had some roster changes themselves. I want to see what their actual final roster looked like, because I know some.
Isn't it with Saints?
Yeah, which you'd argue is.
What's the name? And then play like the Pro Down or something, or a 2K, and he just didn't turn up.
Yeah, Saints, God RX, Panda, Ricky, and Parasite. So I mean, bearing in mind these lot did. I'm sure they beat Optic the other day as well.
Pittsburgh Knights, did you say?
I want to say that they did.
I'm just researching some of these teams I've never even heard of.
No, it's just because they got dodgy names and well, Pittsburgh Knights beat Reciprocity online. Bearing in mind Reciprocity are in the team house. So again, I'm saying these results, but I just
is that really that team? Overtime? Is that really the French team?
Yes.
Yeah,
I thought they crashed out early. I didn't realize they got that far.
No, they battled through the losers bracket a little bit. So obviously they just.
I was desperately looking for. I was like, I'm sure I've heard of that team or we've watched them.
Out Cold, not 100% sure though. Hold on, let me check.
No, I tried looking for them. I can't find them.
Out Cold is Rex, Vicious, Supreme Agility, Destiny, and Noobs. We would have seen them, but to be fair, Brice, I think we've seen about 300 teams in Vegas.
Yeah, that is true.
I passed over Supreme Agility, Vicious, and Noobs again in the 2K. I don't think.
Why have I got? So I've seen them, and I saw him under the roster for Mesa Gaming.
Who?
No, you're thinking Teddy Rex and Rex.
No. Trust me.
I know.
If you go onto the COD wiki of Mesa Gaming,
we've got the
he's
ones,
in there.
We got the ones from MLG here though. So it's Teddy Rex. Hold on, who we got? Mesa is Teddy Rex, Zaptius, Apox, Super, and Rambi.
Yeah.
And then
well, yeah, that's the thing. If you go on the COD wiki, and I don't know why they've done it,
it's just.
But it says former Zaptius, Teddy Rex, Super, Rambi, and Apox. The active roster: Destiny, Vicious, Noobs, Rex, and Supreme Agility. I don't know if that's a joke because it said they joined on the 5th of January.
Yeah, it's just the way that.
Unless there's been an org switch or something.
Like COD Gamepedia, if they take them off teams, it says that they left a team. Like if they left a team that didn't.
So I think
it's not really an org. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Saying people in the chat as well, like COD Wiki was updated, CWL. No, the only thing that I can go off is what I'm given. And it's these rosters that were put forward.
Yeah, see, still an envoy said Teddy's team went to the event under Mesa. They are no longer Mesa.
Right.
Or maybe the org changed or something or whatever it is. But
we'll look up Teddy Rex on
either way, it's going to be interesting
Twitter.
when we get to when we get to the event next
week.
So
yeah. So we don't know who's on what team then because people keep changing blue teams. Right. So
we can move on. We can just skip the team.
We just forget. Yeah. But either way, we expect.
It's straight ripping number one here.
I think so. Although honestly, I think Pittsburgh Knights are going to cause problems to both those teams. But I think
wouldn't be surprised if 100 Thieves came top.
It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me any of those top 3 teams in any sort of order.
If Pittsburgh Knights came first, it would kind of surprise me.
Oh, okay, yeah, that would surprise me a little bit, I suppose. Yeah. But at the same time, it wouldn't shock me if they automatically qualified because I think they're a pretty decent team.
But if it'd be crazy to see Pittsburgh Knights come in and just like beat 100 Thieves, like just wipe them across.
Beating 100 Thieves is like it'd be one of those things to be like, well, yeah, 100 Thieves haven't really improved. That's what it would be like. It's.
Yeah. Pittsburgh Knights have Joey Nubsy, so I'll put them in third.
I think this is not a hard call. I don't know who Midnight are, by the way. Wait a second, I do actually have them. Llama God, Parzillion, Brack, Jet Li, and Envoy.
Yeah, so they're an alright team.
So they're an alright team.
Yeah. I don't think they
Accelerate. I think if I remember correctly, they actually did pretty well when we watched them.
Yeah,
but that's subjective because it depends who we watch them against.
Yeah, like when they were going up against like the teams through the open bracket, that sort of thing, they were really good. But as soon as they started going up against, if I remember rightly, they did get a horrible pool. I'm sure they went into Optic and Splices, didn't they? So
yeah. Accelerate are a good team. Yeah, I actually think it's those names that we always were like in Panda last year of Fastball or BZM, or I believe Profizi just reading the roster off. I think these guys comfortably make the top 5.
Yeah.
In this group, and again, I don't see them finishing top 2, but I actually potentially see them making the Pro League depending on what teams they get in front of them.
It'll be hard.
I'll tell you who's not making it. Overtime.
Yeah, I don't think
Overtime are not making it.
No,
I'm sorry. Whalers, I thought he was amazing. I told him to get onto a UK team and stick there. Didn't do it. they have like Zeke, Risk, Breezy, and Natche. I've never seen these players.
No,
I thought Risk might have been Riskins for a minute, but it's not.
No, it's Risk, and Zeke is pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, they are the best French team, but that doesn't really count for much these days. So they're okay, but it wouldn't surprise me if they finish bottom 2.
I think out cold and overtime finish bottom 2. I know it's easy to say when they're in the bottom 2 of the kind of standings, as you can see, but I think that's pretty set.
Yeah, I think pretty much that sort of order wouldn't surprise me as what they're set. But
100%.
I said I think Pittsburgh Knights could make some moves in the top 2 potentially. Parasite's been playing well recently, and I actually would like to see him in the Pro League again. And 100 Thieves, it's a question. If 100 Thieves play to their potential, they will blow this group out of the fucking water.
I don't think they will. I think Straight Ripping is still good enough. You're underselling Straight Ripping.
No, I'm not underselling it.
I got told for Vegas for pronouncing the G.
I'm not underselling them. I'm saying is if you look at that 100 Thieves team and on paper, they should beat every single one of these teams convincingly.
Yeah.
But they are not playing that well at the moment.
I know what Tunn's trying to say, and I kind of agree.
What he's saying is bollocks.
No, what he's saying is if the potential of 100 Thieves, they could win 3 chips this year. The potential of Straight Ripping.
Well, let's just reform Impact then, because they're world champions. They should win this.
Well, no, because that's not recent.
Potential. It's seen someone's
it was 100 Thieves. When was the last time
you're saying 100 Thieves do not have the potential to win an event?
Are we talking about Slasher last season? Kenny last season?
They don't have the potential to blow this group out of the water because Straight are in it.
But
I think that devalues Straight.
It doesn't devalue Straight.
No,
it's just how good 100 Thieves should be.
If you said they were playing the potential, they were guaranteed to come top 2. I would agree with you. But I think you're devaluing Straight for a team that is purely, hypothetical.
Right.
100 Thieves. What potential? They haven't shown that much potential on this game. Like the 2K? Is that what you're going off?
Based on paper. No, based on paper of how they should have worked together. Right.
That's from 6 months ago.
But you look
that
at
paper's 6 months old.
You look at 100 Thieves and you expect them to easily be better than a top 8 team in general. However, they are not playing like they had at the moment. Obviously, that's what I'm saying. But if you look at it on paper, you would expect 100 Thieves, if they were to play at 100 Thieves potential as of those players, everyone was sort of expecting, then they would blow this group out of the water. But they are not, and they are very far behind where they should be.
However,
it's ridiculous. That is a ridiculous statement. I'm not having it.
I don't think it's ridiculous. I don't think it's ridiculous at all. I think the potential, the ceiling, or whatever you want to refer to it as, the skill of this team, they have the potential out of all 32 teams or 28 or whatever on our screens. They have the highest potential, I believe, of any team there. They're nowhere near the top right now, but in 2 months, it wouldn't surprise me if grand finals these guys were back on top.
What you're basically saying is, on a wish and a prayer, if they played like they could have done last year and their stats from last year, I don't. That statement bothers me only because you're devaluing Straight because of it. If you said they could smash top 2, 100% would agree with you. The rest of this group is easy pickings for a team with a skill ceiling as high as 100 Thieves.
I think you're overselling. On Straight Ripping because of one event. Because if you look at, I just think at the bigger picture, I think Straight Ripping, are the best team in this pool right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
But let's say October comes round, do you see Havoc, Spacely, Major Maniac, Nagafen, and Morks being better than Slasher, Octane, Kenny, Pharaoh, and Enable?
It'd probably be a roster change by then.
I see it from both points of view.
I just think it's difficult to say, this team could easily blow this group out of the water if they all played to an imagined skill ceiling.
Which right now they're nowhere near. Which they're not.
But that's what I'm saying. If there was something, if it was top 6 at Vegas, and you said that, and I'll be like, yeah, I can see it. Maybe a few issues going into Vegas.
Right. Let's just agree to disagree, because we're going to linger on this for a while. But yeah,
but I think Straight and Pittsburgh Knights. I mean, Straight there was so much flack directed at Straight going into Vegas because people didn't know if they would perform. And then they did perform. Yeah. Let's be honest, they did perform.
Yeah. I think so. I think they sort of finished where everyone sort of thought they would. Was top 8.
I want to do predictions at the end of the show that we could refer back to.
What predictions to who's going to go for Pro League? I think
just top 2, from each pool.
No, I think we should do who we think the top 2.
Yeah, but I'm still going to put 100 Thieves in the top 2. I've never debated that. I just said that he said that 100 Thieves would blow this entire group out of the water if they played to an imagined high performance thing that we haven't seen.
We'll put our top 2, but in order top 2.
Like we had Doctor Who turn up and Kenny from last year arrived and all that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? Like
that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting. Okay, Group C.
But that's the thing. Like they could just click, and it's closing. Yeah. All right. Come on then. Group C.
Right. I still have straight 100 Thieves in my top 2. Like 100%. See, the thing is, I'm not disagreeing with you. I just think your statement was way too far. 100 Thieves should become top 2 in this group. I agree. The issue is recently, if you look at any fan thing right now, they're just not a big fan of 100 Thieves. There's nothing to show that they are going to blow anyone out of any group.
Not yet.
Okay. Group D.
I'm gonna say straight up in Pittsburgh, mate. Actually, I am. I think they might choke.
No, what do you mean?
Come on,
No, wait a minute. No, we're not moving on, Phil. Shut up. You're not the host of this podcast.
Oh, here we go.
You can't just sit there and tell me you think 100 Thieves have the potential to blow this group out of the water and then not put them top 2.
I said they have the potential if they hit that skill ceiling that we expected them to hit at the beginning of the season, but they haven't been. They haven't been.
We're not playing FIFA fantasy team, mate. We ain't looking at their stats and going, oh yeah.
But Tunn can say that. He can say that they have the potential to blow this out, but I don't think they will because I don't think they're at that potential or anywhere near the potential right now.
Thank you, Phil.
But like he's talking about what you say, like that on paper. Like you disagree.
Yeah, and I always say Connor's never done on paper.
His opinion.
Never done on paper. Yeah, and I can tell him his opinion is rubbish.
Group D, come on. I can't talk about
we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. All right.
Fine. I know 100 Thieves are gonna come top of their group, but it's fine. Group D.
Who's even Group D? Sorry.
Group D. All right. E.g., Red Reserve, UIU, Mind Freak, Imperial, Movie Star Riders, and Nation of Power.
I think this might be the most clean-cut group.
Yeah.
100 Thieves.
100 Thieves. Win it all. Win it all.
I do not see anyone challenging EG or Red Reserve for top 2.
UIU did beat Red Reserve at Vegas, but I do not think that was the Red Reserve that...
The Red Reserve had the worst Friday ever.
Yeah,
oh, that was horrific.
They got a reverse swept by EG, and oh my days.
Mind Freak have got a whole new roster.
Yeah. I think Mind Freak are going to seriously struggle. So I honestly, I would be very, very, very shocked if it's anybody apart from those 2 top teams that are there finishing top 2. UIU could potentially do it, but I don't think they will. However, the rest of them, I think Imperial can make a little run here. Mind Freak are, for me, potentially in the bin. There's so many changes. I just...
Did you say Mind Freak are in the bin?
Potentially.
No, just in my opinion, Mind Freak, they're in the bin. Just
like they could be. Like, what is going on? Like, they dropped Excite, picked up Swifty. They're making so many big changes.
Buzzo's the coach now.
Buzzo's coach now.
Buzzo's coach. Luca looked good at Vegas.
Luca looked good. Yeah. Apart from that,
it's just very hard. Like even Imperial, like as much as I love Reedy, Moose, Vortex, Denzel, all I do is I just get vibes of like that Epsilon team.
I think the thing is with Imperial, and what I will say for them, and we watched them obviously in the
I wish they... Yeah, go on, sorry.
What happened to them in the... when they went to the qualifier on the Thursday. I forgot what we were calling it, something. But I think that they choked massively against UIU. Massive. A massive choke.
Yes, I remember that. That was horrific to watch.
Yeah.
Was that game, the UIU game?
Yes, it was.
It was just a terrible reverse sweep?
Yes, it was. They got reverse sweep. They were 5-2 up in the S&D on the last map, and they lost.
Yeah.
Now
we have to address what Tunn said, and I'm trying not to argue with him anymore this podcast.
Okay, no.
Mind Freak in the bin.
Okay, maybe a bit harsh.
A bit harsh?
But I just...
Like, you're saying like that... So, by that statement, are you saying Mind Freak are not coming top 5 in this group?
No, I think they'll come top 5, but...
What on earth does in the bin mean?
Not top 2.
Well, of course not in top 2. If that's a definition of in the bin, most of the teams here would be in the bin.
But there's just so many things going on with them and so many changes, and I just find it very difficult to put them even top 3.
We'll just put them in the bin.
Well, there you go.
Not top 3 in the bin you get.
I mean, Jesus, they're not in the bin that movie star Raiders and Nation of Power are in. Jesus Christ, come on.
You don't come top 3 in your group in the bin.
Can we go from the bottom? Nation of Power, Slater, Zinx, Robbie, Rain, Mizumo. Like, these are the 20.
I've read Nation of Power. I don't even remember watching them.
They are the lowest seeded team in this whole
thing. Lowest seeded team, but I can't have an opinion. I don't know any of them.
I don't know them.
Play.
I
would suggest that I would put them exactly where they.
These were the guys that were like seed like 110th, and they finished in the top 32.
And
they beat a couple. I'm sure they beat Fact. I want to say, in like one game potentially.
Well, Fact come higher than top 32.
I'm top 24. I've got the page open.
Fact came top 24. Yeah.
They come top 28. Fact.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they were 23rd. Oh, yeah, sorry, you got a minus.
So, I'll tell you who. So, Nation of Power beat iDomina. Good. After the abuse I was getting on Twitter. They beat Monaco, Nemesis, and lost to MRDS. Who the hell is that? Oh, Movie Star Raiders.
That's a funny thing, actually, someone said in the chat. Mindfreak are instantly better by replacing, but like Buzzo, we talked about obviously like how he's slow paced.
Yeah.
Maybe they just bring in another fast paced player, and like if they're anything like Luca, maybe they're not in the bin.
Yeah, maybe they're not in the bin.
Maybe they're not in the bin. Okay, it was harsh.
All I'm saying, Dan, is you're lucky that the Australians are on a different schedule time-wise to us. Otherwise, you'd be absolutely flooded with hate right now.
Buzzo won 1 cent.
But I like on a real though, I don't think they make Pro League.
No. I think EG
not unless there's some magic somewhere. I agree with you there.
Yeah, I don't think they do. Like
I do think this will be a more interesting pool to see who doesn't finish bottom 2 though. This will be like battle.
I still think Imperial versus Movie Star Riders will be interesting. It depends on.
Rated. Okay, well, Rated's saying that he thinks they will make. Oh, all right.
Rated, Rated's in the chat. Tom thinks my freak are in the bin, mate.
Right,
so
hold tight. I already brought
you get that spade out and dig yourself out this hole. We'll discuss the rest of them, shall we? Like Imperial versus Imperial are still. I mean, there is talent in that team. I just don't know where they've put it.
Yeah, I just think I expected them to have a better Vegas than they did. And I think if they did, then they would have taken some confidence at this. But I feel like confidence may potentially be low.
I don't know. I feel like it's so big as well. It's such a big thing for them as well. I still think Nation of Power are going to struggle. Movie Star Riders, I don't think are even making top 5. So
no. I think it's quite clear. Oh, who's going to finish top 5? I just don't know what order. 100%.
I think it's EG and Red top 2. I think we'll all agree on. Yeah. And then I would go. Do I pick UYU or do I pick Mindfreak? That's the question. I'm actually going to go EG, Red, Mindfreak, UYU, Imperial, and then the bottom 2 are the bottom 2. I think Mindfreak finished 3rd. But in any other pool, they wouldn't finish 3rd.
Yeah, I just think
known as the bin.
Oh God!
Sorry,
just
man.
Jump on anything.
So
you can't say anything.
You've gone one way. No, you can. Just not silly things. Here's the thing. Like, if you were going to say that statement as well, right? We go back to the other horrific statement you made. Like, if you were to say Red Reserve could potentially smack this group, I would possibly be more with you because it's the same team as last year.
Yeah.
It's not a culmination of other teams.
We're not
I think Red Reserve versus EG will be a great game in this group. It'll be so good to watch them going because it's a great benchmarking game. Red know they didn't have a good Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be very interesting to see what they've changed, how they've adapted, and whether or not they are the Red we all believe them to be.
There we go.
The roster change too.
I was going to say, Brice.
EG made the roster change as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Without being biased, and I know Raid's in the chat, I do think Red beat EG. And I know EG plays 4th, and I know Red had a terrible start to Vegas. I just see Red. I see Red beating EG.
Yeah.
EG made a change, and I don't think that's a bad change, but I do see Red coming out on top of that one.
Well, haven't Red been looking really good recently as well? Or is it, in fairness, that may just be the fact that I've been seeing Annihilator clips from Rated all over my timeline.
I was watching Red in the Pro Down.
How'd they do?
Joe, Bant, Scraps, and Zero look really good.
Jesus.
They lost to G2 in the semis, and then I'm sure
they beat Optic, didn't they?
They did beat Optic, yes. They
I remember.
actually.
Did you see the ending of when Red beat Optic?
No, I was asleep. I was
asleep. Crying. Rated was streaming. He was talking to his chat, telling them all because they were all Green Wall fans, and he was just trolling all of them. He was like, "Go on, back to bed now. Optic are out."
I might have to go watch the VOD. So let's be perfectly honest here. Let's top two. We're saying EG Red Reserve, right?
Yeah,
that's pretty much where we're looking.
If you potentially had a shot in, there's a small percentage chance, but I don't think.
Was it UIU that played Imperial and
they
reverse sweep them? Yes, because they may not even made it out of there. That's the crazy thing.
They made it out.
Imperial looked great the first two maps,
and then they beat Red.
Yeah, each pool has like 3 teams. I feel that battle for the top, but at D, I just think EG and Red have got it.
All right, I think so, and I think I'll be honest with you. I'm just gonna put Movie Star Riders and Nation of Power at the bottom anyway. I think they are where they belong.
Yeah,
agreed.
Yeah,
awesome. Right, let's move on to our next topic. Rank play has been announced.
Are we not going to talk about who we think is going to make it in total then? Or do you think it's too hard to actually predict?
I think you see the bracket, you have no idea.
Well, let's just take the top 2 out that we all think. Let's just go through the top 2 quickly. We know EG Red. Are we both agreeing? What we thinking for C, everyone? I'm
going to go straight 100.
Okay, same.
I'm going to go straight Pittsburgh Knights.
Okay, B?
Lightning Pandas.
I'm going to go Lightning Pandas and Team Envious because I think Hugh is a monster at the moment.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Okay.
I think G2
G2 could very easily be in there. That's a mad group to figure out the top 2.
That's very difficult. But I'm going to say with Brice as well. I'm going to go Lightning Pandas Envy.
So I think by
G2 in there, but I'm just
from discussing it, just like that little brief. So there's 12 teams that go. EG Red, so down to 10. Straight 100 down to 8.
It's down to 8, mate.
Lightning, Pandas, Envy, and G2, I'd say...
4 more make it. 4 more make it.
4 more make it out of 12 that go through.
See,
G2 I'm putting in there. I'm putting G2 make the league.
I think G2 finished top 2, personally, but yeah.
All right, well... So in that case, we'll say Envy make the league. That top 3 of B are making the league, as far as I'm concerned.
And top 3 of A, I think, make the league.
I'm just trying to look at...
Yeah, I can go with that, which means we're looking for 2.
And then top 2 of C and D. So you're looking for... I think Pittsburgh Knights... I think Heretics. I think Heretics make it.
I'm just looking at Heretics' potential run, so... This is seriously...
I'm the bracket.
Yeah, I'm looking at the bracket now to see the play. So I'm seriously theorizing down the road here, I suppose.
Well, wait a minute. How are you theorizing this?
Because I've got the bracket.
That is you've got the bracket, but where they all drop is so subjective.
I know.
It's like a 38 combinations or something mental.
But I think they'll finish 4th in that group. I don't think they'll break the top 3. But I think they comfortably...
Then you have to predict every other group to find out who they actually have to play. That's mad. There's no way I'm predicting a bracket off of that.
No, I know, but I'm just trying to see what pool they play against. So if they finish 4th in Pool B, which is what I'd probably put them, 5th in Pool C. Pool C is not a bad pool to play against. 5th in Pool C, I'd take that any day. Thank you very much. Then they'd go up against 3rd in Pool A, which is winnable. You would say 3rd in Pool A, either Team Sween, Reciprocity, FaZe Clan, Mesa, somebody like that.
I think it's too much. I think you're going too far.
It's mad to figure out. It's seriously theorizing, but I'm just saying that they've got a decent chance. I think.
I think it's just if we each wrote down 12 teams that make it, we'd each have Sween, Rec, FaZe, Pandas, MV, G2, Straight, 100 Thieves, EG, Red, and then we've got to pick. So that's what 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've got to pick 4 more. So it's basically who's your pick out of the rest.
So here's how I'll pull it down, right? Because I think A and B take the top 3 out of both. I think you take the top 2 out of C and D, which leaves us looking for 2 teams. The potential teams I think are left.
Yeah.
Out of that, so basically I think Sween, Reciprocity, FaZe, Lightning Pandas, MV, G2, EG, Red Reserve, Straight, and 100 make it. Right.
Agreed.
I think the teams you have to left to pick for: Pittsburgh Knights.
I think
UIU, Mind Freak, Accelerate,
Heretics.
Imperial Heretics are a big one. FC Black because they've had some decent, and Mesa. I think the rest of them And you got to pick 2 out of that. That's a mad pick.
It's hard.
I would be leaning towards Pittsburgh Knights for one of them, and possibly Heretics for the other. But that's it's so bracket dependent from there on.
Yeah, it's difficult.
It is bracket dependent.
I was theorizing out my mind there. To be fair, I shouldn't have really been doing that. But yeah, I just think I think Heretics make it. I think Heretics and Knights make it.
I think again, this is I have a feeling FaZe Black.
Nah.
But again, this is you don't know because we haven't seen the bracket.
Once
we find out how they are, once we find out how the groups have gone, going into that bracket, you are going to know who looks like the better team this weekend. That's why we don't even look at the bracket until now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we have our 8, and it's probably an 8 to 10. We can figure out 10 of them. But even then, again, that's a massive bracket thing.
It is.
I don't know. I think anyway. Let's move on because other than that, that's so difficult. We've picked 10 essentially that we think will make it out of the 12 that could.
We got there in the end, did we, Brice?
Yeah. We put people in the bin and stuff, and then made stuff up. All right, let's move on to rank play. Rank play has been released, but it is different this season. So scrims is going to be a permanent thing for league play. It is an unranked but still skill-based matchmaking to play CWL rules. So that's always going to be on. It's called scrims to line up with what pros are doing because pros play scrims. The only thing I have with that is scrims is technically the definition of scrims is to play for practice. That's all it is. And I'm not sure how much practice you can get because you're supposed to basically in scrims you should be losing, so you can learn because you're trying new stuff. So I don't know how the casuals are going to get that. I would like competitive practice. I think maybe a better name for that one. So people who jump into that playlist for the first time understand what it is supposed to be. Going with your friends and you just play and it's casual and stuff. You try to learn and all that sort of thing. And then I believe it's events wise. It's 3-day events where it goes into ranked and you kind of jump in.
It's
a little bit like 2Ks and stuff the weekends.
A little bit like if you've ever played FIFA Ultimate Team Weekend League. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
So that's a specific amount of games you can play at a 3-day period, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and that determines your rank from there. That sounds what it's going to be like.
Do you know what I think this is? And I thought this when I saw it come out. There's no GB integration for this game at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think this is like the kind of the hatch for that. Because people aren't playing 8,000 PPs and jumping in GBs, I think this is more like, hey, if you want to get involved in comp, you don't go through the GB thing anymore. You practice all week, and then at the weekend you jump in with your friends. Yeah. And I can see why they would like that compared to pros liking that. Because obviously, it's been a bit of a pushback from some of the professional players who, admittedly, can just play against pro teams at their level any time. And admittedly, a lot of rank play for them is just going to be playing against random teams of other pros. That's how good they are, and we've seen that before in WW2. They end up playing other pros. I think it's curious. For me, the biggest things about league play have to be the rank has to be prevalent. I think I've always said it. If you want casual players to be invested in competitive Call of Duty and ranked play, that rank has to mean something.
And one thing
I would like if you get a gold outline or a platinum outline, so when you're in a lobby and you can see somebody instead of going, oh, you're 8th prestige level 50, they go, oh damn, this guy's like a diamond player or he's a master player.
That's it, isn't it? You have to sort of receive some sort of skins, that sort of thing, which World War II did a little bit. They touched on it slightly, but we'll not talk about World War II skins.
What was the other game that did it? Was it AW?
No,
was it IW?
Black Ops.
What was the one that gave you the actual skin for getting a certain position?
No idea.
Can't remember. But yeah, I just think that realistically, there needs to be some sort of good rewards for it to do it this way. The way that FIFA works with it.
It was right. It was AW.
I think the more that you do on FIFA and the Weekend League, the better you do, the higher you place, the better rewards you get. They have to do that. They have to sort of give you something. Because if people are committing a lot of time on a specific day, there has to be a reason other than just getting a shiny rank. Mm-hmm. There has to be something like.
I think a good rank is enough. Look, let's step into other competitive games for a moment. Pretty much any other game I play, like an esport game that I play competitively, what is the first question people ask? What rank are you? what rank are you? CS:GO, they ask what rank you are. You know, Rainbow Six, they ask what rank you are. League of Legends, where did you get to? It's at StarCraft, same thing, and that's an old game now. They ask where you got to rank wise. They don't ask what, but in Call of Duty they ask what prestige you are. It's a very different conversation, and I think that for me is if you're gonna get the casuals in, they need to be able to say to their friends, you know, when they meet up, you know, where did you get to? Well, I actually get to Diamond this weekend. You know, I grinded. I'm a Diamond player. Mm-hmm. Don't worry about a KD. I don't care. Like that's distance. That casuals and competitive. The difference is that basically in competitive, no one really gives a crap about your KD. I mean, at events, people like the fact if they get over a 1.2, it's great. But you know, you speak to any casual player playing Call of Duty, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I got a 4.5 in sabotage," and they're like, "Oh, I'll quit out if I'm not having a good game." But that's not competitive Call of Duty.
One thing that they have to make sure they do is
it has to be a full change. Yeah. Sorry, it has to be a full change in how you bring these casuals in. They have to accept what rank they are, how good you are at Call of Duty, with all the steps that. Sorry, this is a rant. All the steps that have been made. It's gone 5v5. We've kept a lot of things in. You know, all the specialists, all that stuff is in. It's slightly been tuned so we can keep more specialists in. You know, this is the last step. Is getting them to accept that Call of Duty is not played like you're camping a domination hill for fucking 15 minutes. It's played by proving how good you are at Call of Duty, and for that, you have to play CW rules and you have to play the objective.
But I think as a casual player, then like there's a lot of people who don't play it for that reason. They come on to shoot shit.
Of course they do. Of course they do. And those players are never going to be that bothered about comp or rank playlist.
No.
But if you want to be good and be better than people, then you 100% need a way of showing just how good you are, and it needs to be prevalent. Like, imagine we hadn't been playing this game for a decade, right? And you've gone into a game and you're like, you jump into a lobby and you know you hear people talking and people send you a message, "Oh, you sweaty diamond player." You'd still be proud that you're a diamond player. You'd be happy. You'd be like, "Yo, I walked into the lobby. They can see my tag has got the diamond thing around it." And all that sort of stuff. But this is even talking about the elo system. Like that for me, like this is a great opportunity for that to happen, and that's what I want to see in a ranked playlist.
Yeah, it's difficult though, isn't it? I think everyone here has played some sort of ranked playlist in Call of Duty, and it just one of the biggest issues for me is that you should have to be like at a certain level to jump into it, because it was always you would. In World War II, one of the biggest issues is you would jump in with like a guy who looks like he's never held a controller in his life before. It might have been me, but you know, you jump into these games, and then I feel like there has to be a certain point where you actually have to have played the game for a certain amount of time before you can jump in.
No, I agree.
Because I think there's too much where it spoils the experience of other people who are trying, and then
I like bigger punishments for levers.
A huge punishment for levers. Levers. Got there in the end. But yeah, I think there's so many different things that you do. One thing I seen a lot of pros talking about how Black Ops 2 ranked player wasn't good. I thought it was fine, personally. I don't know if I just
had its issues.
I don't know if I just have like a rose tinted glasses things with Black Ops 2. But yeah, they do.
It's not an easy thing to build. It's not an easy thing to build. No, it's not. But
I tell you what was good. So many people touch back on Halo 3.
I like Halo 3.
Halo 3 ranked.
Just
awesome.
to quickly interrupt. Questions in the chat because we're coming towards the end of the show. But I think the pushback from the pros is interesting because I don't think this is geared fully towards the pros. The pros will play. The pros will play like it to death because basically it goes in rank right now for players is practice, blackout, pubs, you know, and then other games. And people have waned off pubs already because they've done the dark matter grind. So if you go on Twitch now, they're all playing blackout when they're not scrimming, all of them.
Yeah.
And occasionally there'll be like player 10s or whatever, or something in there and 10s. But like that's and the rank play should come probably like either replace blackout or come under blackout. That's what they'll play then. Jump into a rank game and play a high level rank game with my teammates on about or whatever.
Yeah, and it's hopefully that is sort of available because they've said it's not going to be. Yeah. What did you say? It wasn't going to be ranked. Or was it? It's still going to be skill.
So it's not ranked. From what I say, it's not ranked all the time. It's scrims,
but
for like most of the week, and then there's events.
I feel like that should be ranked though, like throughout the week.
Well, it's so what here's the thing, right? It's you just don't get a rank, but it's still skill-based matchmaking. So if you just want to casually go in and play CWR rule, you can. you can just jump into a CWL rule game and practice CWL if you want.
Do you think they might have like a loose rank sort of system in there for through the week?
It's still skill-based matchmaking. You're just not going to know how good you are.
Yeah.
Until the weekend event.
So as far as I'm aware, there's not going to be like you are like
the benefits of which
that sort of
means that you can play the absolute hell out of it during the week and then only really try hard at the weekend.
Yeah,
true.
So you can play a casual game of CWL rules. That's a good thing. So you don't have to worry about your rank. You don't have to worry about you being costed. You can just play if you enjoy playing CWL rules. And I do enjoy playing CW rules. I just usually end up playing GBs. Yeah. And I will play the rank playlist, and obviously the fact that I am terrible means I will only ever play scrims and never tell anyone how good I am. But there we go. So like, I don't know. I'm waiting to see how it goes. I know pros want something. I know why they want it. But I'm just curious to see how it goes first, because I don't think it's the worst thing in the world like everyone says.
No, I think it could have went worse. But my biggest issue is how long it's taken. It should have been here before now, really. I think it's taken so long on that. This is something that should have been sorted months ago, really. But I suppose you're gonna.
There's a lot to do in the game. You remember it changes all the time. We don't know what we're waiting for yet. Let's move on then to the questions in the chat. Let's see if there's any good questions in here. Opinions on the denial situation. So I heard denial was bought out. And I heard a few things, but I can't remember all of them because it was at the end of Vegas. Denial don't have the greatest history. Apparently they're picking up a team, but I haven't heard what team they're picking up. And if they're going to come straight back into a CWL team, then it's a lot of money to outlay for a brand that a lot of people think is a joke.
They owe a lot of people money, though, don't they?
Well, I heard it was settled up, or at least partially settled up.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of things have been like sorted out, but I just feel like I know this is the point of a podcast to kind of talk about it, but until I see something and see that like players are under them and getting paid, and like they're 6 months into a contract and everything's good, it's just so hard to like trust. You lose trust so easily in esports. That's one thing you can really mess up.
Oh, it's not really hard to give a shit.
Yeah, it's like
Sorry, you're being polite, but let's be honest here. Denial have teased it for far too long.
But sometimes their social media, I'm just like, okay, sure, we'll see.
Matt again says it's been a good month. Like, honestly, at that point, first of all, if you're teasing a team, good chance the community probably knows who it is anyway.
Yeah.
Second of all, like if you've been teasing for a month, then that's clearly just moronic. Like either you haven't signed the team players, or you haven't made your mind up, or who you've got is just crap. Like, we usually would know, and there's very few teams right now, good teams, outside of orgs.
Team Sween?
Yeah, apparently new management has paid off all debts, apparently. But I don't know. Like, it's been too long. If you're watching it, if anyone knows the denial people, just either tell us you've got a team or don't tell us you've got a team. Like, just be honest with it. I don't care anymore about you teasing that you might have a team.
Don't do all the talking.
The proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, let the team do the talking and stop asking for so much. Like, it's just like it gets boring very quickly.
I think...
See, someone just said Spacey team hasn't got all, but Straight Ripping's owned by something. Isn't Straight Ripping?
Straight Ripping was owned by MLG, and I think they allowed them to use it. Like,
oh, did they?
Yeah, okay. Something like that. I don't think it was.
I like that old. That's a
better
better brand than Denial. Like, come on.
Like, I'm sure somebody's probably tried to buy out Straight Ripping. Oh my god, imagine like just the name, the history. You automatically have fans. Like,
isn't it Straight owned by MLG?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. They're only like Final Boss and all that, isn't they?
I think probably the best question that I've seen is most risky roster change for the PLQ.
Straight drop the team after Vegas. Yeah, see, I heard that as well. See, here's my issue. Sorry, here's my issue with it. It's like I know I said like even Denial have probably got no one good, but if Denial had one of those teams, Spacely's, Teddy's, Niles, or Sween's, then surely they should have already mentioned it. Like the Pro League qualifier is going to be a big thing. I'm watching that. It's a good event on the calendar.
Yeah,
lot at stake.
I don't think like Straight dropped that team. I think it was like a just in there for Vegas sort of thing under the name. I don't think it was like they were being paid like if you make it so far sort of thing. I think it was just like under them for Vegas because they were just down as Team Spacely or something like that. So I think they just sort of agreed to go under them, use their.
It's probably just me. I've been on a very ranty podcast. No,
Oh, have
not
you?
doing it for 3 weeks has
you?
really got to me. And I've just been ready to vent. You're lucky we're not talking about Blackout right now because this will be a good 6-hour podcast.
Yeah, we
I'd
don't
be
have
out.
that time. Yeah. Anyway, I said the question right underneath when you asked was most risky roster change for the PLQ.
Ooh.
I still think it's Celium. I think that's a huge risk.
I think it has to be.
Yeah.
Admittedly, pros rate him, FaZe rate him enough.
They rate him, but like at the same time, it's like, right, we're going to drop methods, try and test it. Won events last year. Know he's a good player for a guy that has not been a LAN for the most important event we've had in years.
Yeah. I think just by definition, it has to be, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I would say Celium. But
it's
gonna
when
be
someone's not played, it's like you can't pick anything.
Yeah.
What classes would you put in the bin in the terms of Blackout, Tunn?
Yeah, let's move on. So here's the question I was kind of alluding to earlier. What do you guys think if one team like FaZe, 100 Thieves, MV Reds not qualify for the Pro League? Do they have some of the players split and try to join a league team? If some of these big teams don't make it, it's terrifying because they could very well retire some of the veterans.
I think
like 100% could retire. I think there may be a grab from some of the teams that do make it, like a little, we'll have him and drop one of our players, or have a sixth. A lot of coaches will probably come out of it.
Yeah, I would say so, but I think a lot of them will probably slide into teams. So, say hypothetically, 100 Thieves don't make it. You're telling me the majority of those players don't make it in the Pro League teams. At least 4 of them. You'd argue one of them could struggle, but then the rest of them, you would say, are probably slot into teams. And then you've got, say, I mean, who's the outliers? Who are the top teams that we think could potentially, on a percentage basis, be the most in trouble out of the top teams?
I don't really know, because you want to be positive about them.
Yeah.
And I think if you're being honest, the fact that FaZe were top 16, and this is a top 16 league, that would be that you would be worried if you were a FaZe fan, but that would imply that I think they're not going to make it. I think they will. So
yeah, I think they will, but I think if you look at it from a sort of a likelihood of who's most likely to fail, I would say 100 Thieves and FaZe are probably the top, I would say, of the top teams that could potentially not. Very small percentage, I think they will, but like, if those two teams split, then I think nearly every single one of them makes it on the top team anyway. I think you look at teams like AG, G2, who I think will make it, who got people in there, I mean, you're telling me somebody doesn't look at Slasher and think, he could replace our AR? Like,
oh no, that's what I'm saying. Like 100% somebody picks them all up.
Yeah, 100%.
But I still think some retire, depending on who it is.
Let's
move on, because it's a really open question. Let's have a look. Anybody else?
Phil's just giggling away to himself.
Yeah, I know why Phil's giggling.
Brice is just saying on Twitter that you called Bum my freak in the bin.
Oh my god.
I did technically. Whoa, I didn't tweet it out. I think that's basically all the good questions. Although I have been scrolling through.
It looks like Quinn's got a good one for Tunn.
All right, question for Tunn. On a scale of 1 to 10, 7 being the best, what's your favourite number of the alphabet using fruit and veg to explain your answer?
He spelled out. Look at Tunn's face. He doesn't have a clue.
Let's go on 10. 7 being the best.
Just don't try and work it out.
Yeah,
Tunn.
I'm not going to try and work it out.
Who's the best amateur players who've never been in the league that are now probably going to be in the league? My pick is Panda and GodRx. I mean, from predictions and stuff like that.
Dylan Cobb?
I mean,
good shout.
I think Panda and GodRx are good picks. Potentially
all of Team Sween.
Some heritage, yeah.
All of Team Sween.
Just how good is Adam Pete? Adam Pete's the best, man.
Adam Pete's,
he surprised me. He did surprise me.
He's alright.
Didn't surprise me at all.
Oh no, you know everything.
I said this before we started. Games too fast. Adam Pete's a fast player. Makes sense. All right, I think that will be it for now. All right. Thank you very much for watching Spitfire. Thank you for Phil for coming on. Phil, shout it out. Stream. Make sure you watch stream. I think he's still streaming. Momo, PW7. Well, make sure you go to Phil, and if you go to Phil, sub to him. He has average COD content, and he occasionally plays with me, so it's worth a sub. Obviously, Anything else? Anything else, Momo?
Apart from the fact that Brice Tactor is yet to be subbed to me, but apart from that, no. It's a pleasure coming on as always, and I'm excited for the. Okay, one more thing actually. I just want to declare I hate Dirk, but apart from that, no, that's it from me.
Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense. Tunn, I believe is there the news? The news thing yet? Is there news?
Not yet, but we will have more giveaways coming. Is all I'll say for now. But we have
news, just not news we can tell you. So here's a news announcement about news that could potentially be coming.
If we look at the logos up in the top right corner, it'll give you an indication of which direction.
On the overlay that I didn't approve. We'll get a better overlay as well.
Hold on. No, let's not start. Let's not start. Okay.
All right. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. That has been all. I'm of course Brice, and I will stream at some point. Promise. But that's been Spitfire for now. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.